This morning on The Dish, Indigenous food warrior Crystal Wahpepah. While she may be self-titled, there may be no better word to describe her than warrior. The James Beard finalist is a leader in advocating for Native American food sovereignty, which is the right of Indigenous people to produce their own traditional foods on their own lands. And as we saw firsthand, for Wahpepah, reestablishing Native food systems is an inherent calling.
We all come from all different backgrounds. If you think about who's the first caretakers of this land and what is the first foods of this land, our foods has been pretty much wiped out.
Standing on the shoulders of her ancestors, Indigenous chef Crystal Wahpepah has dedicated her life's work to reviving and reclaiming Native American foods.
People ask, what is reclaiming? Reclaiming is where we can actually have our own seeds, to grow these seeds and to harvest them, to feed the community.
When you first say to people Native foods or Indigenous foods, what are those? Because I think some people don't necessarily know.
Yeah, no, they don't. Food from this land all throughout North America and what we represent.
Right.
Tomatoes originated from here. We have our berries, things like that.
Surrounded by vineyards in California's Sonoma Valley,
This is a farm that was given back to the Native people, and it's native-led.
this nearly 8-acre plot was secured through the native-led nonprofit, the Cultural Conservancy. For Wahpepah, the land has become an agricultural lifeline, giving her a communal space to grow offerings like heirloom beans.
As you can see right here.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
A small representation of her efforts to get native foods onto new plates.
What are some of the things that I'm going to taste when I'm at the restaurant?
Oh, you're definitely gonna have the Buffalo Creek winter squash.
One of the gourds that has fed her tribe for centuries, now celebrated at her Oakland-based restaurant, Wahpepah's Kitchen. Among the first restaurants dedicated to serving Indigenous foods, using a modern table to reintroduce traditional native fare.
So we have the Three Sisters veggie bowl, and then you just kind of mix it together. This represents strength because how the beans, corn, and squash are planted together.
Tell me why it's been so important to you to bring Indigenous foods here.
Very much important. I seen at a very young age of the absence of it when it comes into our food. I always would see it in the inner community, but I've never seen it on the out. So I wanted to create a space where everyone can enjoy Native American foods.
As part of the Kickapoo Nation of Oklahoma, Wahpepah honors her tribe's long-standing and sacred relationship with a regional resource.
So we would always have deer all the time.
The meat is charred over an open flame until tender.
Oh my God.
Flavors so good, they've transcended generations,
It's one of the best.
including these bison meatballs topped with blueberry sauce,
Really delicious. And I love the blueberry with it.
wild rice fritters drizzled with pepita cream, and these towering tostadas packed with smoked salmon and potatoes, topped with pickled red onions and sliced jalapenos, heating up a hefty bite.
I guarantee you, it's gonna keep you real full. It takes me back to when I was a young girl, having potatoes and salmon.
Growing up along the Pacific Coast in a multi-tribal community, Wahpepah spent her childhood cooking alongside her elders, including her grandparents.
When you were cooking, when you were a kid, did you know you wanted some kind of future in food?
I knew pretty much since at the age 7.
Wow.
I wanted to be a chef, but at the time, just a native chef. And I wanted to cook native foods.
You knew that at 7.
Yes.
Seeing that childhood aspiration through, she attended Le Cordon Bleu in San Francisco.
That feels so traditional.
I wanted to learn the traditional techniques to take it back into culinary when it comes into native foods. No one can really show you, not unless if you're a hunter or if
Your grandma and grandfather could have, but that was it, right?
And so I really wanted to take native foods to another platform.
Breaking through mainstream cuisine, she started a catering company showcasing indigenous foods, becoming one of the first Native American women to do so.
But at the time when I started, no one was ready.
9 years later, the Bay Area foodie scene realized what it had been missing.
You open this restaurant, and the first day, how many people showed up?
Oh, wow. We had almost, oh my goodness, around 1,500 people show up at the same time. It was blocks and blocks full of people.
What did you think?
My heart was full, and I knew it was about time.
Opening its doors in a region that has one of the largest populations of intertribal Native Americans in the country.
I highlight each ingredient with a Native American food producer. So it's just not about Wahpepah's Kitchen. It's overall about people, the farmers, and this is where Native foodways, sovereignty, everything takes play onto this plate.
There are now at least 16 different tribes represented working alongside Wahpepah, her daughters among them.
Every morning I wake up and I'm so blessed. I get to actually work with my daughters, teach them things that I've never was taught. At the same time, let them represent their tribe, let them represent their self, the future generation.
Establishing a legacy of her own by replanting Native American food systems, Crystal Wahpepah's efforts have taken root. The fruits of her labor growing into a reality she once only dreamed of.
The 7-year-old Crystal, if she saw what you've created, what would she think?
Wow. She was just this young girl wanting to see like a native restaurant or wanted to see more of our foods being visible and coming more to life, where our foods are going to be recognized from people from all over. And it's doing that right now.
Loved my 2 days with her, loved every bite, as you could see. She sent some hibiscus tea. We have it with pineapple and cinnamon because the food too hard to send. She's doing a cookbook, Feather and Fork, that should be out next spring. 125 intertribal recipes that she'll be putting out there for people to try.
I'm giving you a side eye. You too, Ms. Wahpepah, because that tostada with salmon.
Go. When you're in the Bay Area, go.
1,500 people.
Unbelievable.
At the opening.
Yeah.
I love it.